friends, my name is Elizabeth Joseph. Thank you so much for joining me yet again on this lovely couch for your online lesson. So before we do anything else, I want us just to take a moment just to remain calm. The theme for this week is remaining calm, and during everything, with the COVID-19 and everything, and you miss your friends, you miss your teachers, I want you just to remain calm and take yourself to that place where you're on the sports field or you're on the playground, you're eating your lunch with your friends, you're playing and laughing. That is exactly where I want you to go right now. So other than that, I want to introduce you guys to my new best friend. This is Mr. Sanitizer. I hope you guys also have a best friend like Mr. Sanitizer. He helps me out a lot. So let's get into those hands. Ooh. Yeah, it's nice. It smells so good. So let's get straight into it. So our lesson for this week is lesson 7 of week 7, and this is for grade 1. Today we are going to focus on sight, maths, and addition with Teacher Abrams. So stay tuned and see what Teacher Abrams has for you.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, lesson 1. Prepositions and directions.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Janice Abrams and welcome, my friend. The theme that we are still busy with is houses. But before we continue with our lesson, let's first practice our social distancing and sanitizing of hands. Between the fingers. Good. Lesson 2. Sight words, the letter H, mass and addition. Okay, boys and girls, let's go to the next page. Page 9. Are you all there? Good. We will concentrate on sight words. So, we have 6 different sight words. We have to, the, of, my, is, are. Now, these different sight words are here on page 9. There are a lot of these sight words placed on page 9. So let's see, what do we have to do on page 9? Choose a color for each sight word. Find and color each one. Then count and write how many you found. Circle the word you found the most. So let's start off with our coloring. It says, choose a color so you can make use of different colors. Remember, we have 6 sight words. So you can make use of blue, brown, yellow, pink, orange. You can use any colors that you want to use, but make sure that you have 6 different colors. Now, what must we do? We have to color in these blocks. Let's look at the first one. What word is this? 2. So, I'm going to use the color blue. So, where do I see all the words to? Where do we see it? Okay, I see one here. I'm going to color it in blue. Now I'm going to look. Where's the next one to? Danelle, do you want to come out, teacher? Good, come. Okay. Danelle, where else do you see the word to in this block? Color it in for me, please. Very good. Where else do you see the word to? Where else? Okay. Where else do you see the word to, Danelle? Let's look, let's look. Good. Okay, so remember now the word to, we have used the color blue. Let's look at the next word, the. So now we have to look, where is all the word the in this block here? And we will use the color pink. Danelle, look where is the. Then you color it in for me pink, please. Good. Where else do you see the? Good. Now, after she has seen all the this and she color it in pink, we will continue to the next one of. Thank you, Danelle. You can have a seat. So, like I said, we have used the color blue. By the, we have used the color pink. Of, you can use any color that you want to. It does not matter. If it's yellow, brown, purple, you can use any color. But you have to search for the words here on this page. Good. When we are done with this, we continue with what is standing underneath. How many of each word did you find? How many of each words did you find? So let's look at the word to. How many twos do we have here on top? We have 5. So now we will write the number 5 in this block next to the word to. Let's go to the next one, the. How many the did we see here on top? We have seen 9. So then I write the 9 in the block next to the word the. The last thing that you must do is, it also says, circle the word that is the most on this page. So you have to go think now and count for yourself. 2 is, we said it is 5. The, we said it is 9. Of, how much is of? We have to go count here. How much is of? It is 5. my. We have to count the my here. How much is my? It is 8. Is. How much is is? You have to go count. Ah. How much is the ah here? You have to count. Now, after finding all these numbers, we have to circle the one that is the most. So what must we do? We go take another different color that we did not use here. Then we make a circle. So which one is the most? Is it 2? Is it the? Good. So it will be the. So now we go see where is the, and we just make a circle around all the this. Good. Let's continue with the next page. Page 10. Are you all at page 10? Now we concentrate on the letter H. Can you think of a few words starting with H? Let's think. What starts with H? Hat. Does it start with H? Yes. House. Does it start with H? Yes, very good. Now let's see what we have to do on page 10. Trace the dotted lines on the letter H. Then write your own H next to it again. So boys and girls, can you see that there is a solid H? Next to the solid H, there's a dotted H. So what must you do? You must go trace on the dotted H. Next to the dotted H, you will now write on your own. There's no dots to direct you. You have to write it on your own. And as you can see, we are busy with the capital H. So you have to go right next to the dotted H, you write your own H. We move to the small letter H. There you will have a solid H again and a dotted H. So you have to go trace on the dotted line the H. And next to it, you practice the H on your own. So that is what you must do there. Now, you see a picture there. What is that picture? Can you tell me, Danelle, what is that picture? It is a hat. It is a hat. Write the letter H in the space below. You will see there's the picture of the H, of the hat, and then you will see the word is not completed under the picture. There's a line, then you will get the A, and you will get the T. So what must you fill in next to the A on the line? You must fill in the letter H. Let's go to the next block there. Circle all the letter H's in the word below. Let's look at that words there. Hot. Will we circle the word, or does the word hot start with H? Yes. So now you must circle only the H. You don't circle the whole word. You just circle the H, the small letter H. The next word under is he. Does he start with a H? Yes. So we circle only the H. The next word is year. The next one is her. Under her is the word with. Does the word with start with a H? Under with is how. Remember what I said? You must only circle the letter H. Let's go to the next part under. All these objects have the letter H in their name. Circle the H in the name. Then color in the object. The object is the picture that you must color in. So you will see there's the capital H and there's the small letter H. You must color them in. Next to the letter H, there's a picture of a house. Color the picture in of the house and circle only the H sound. Next to the house is a picture of a hill. Color in the picture and circle the word or the letter H. Under the hill is a hippo. Color the hippo in and circle the letter H. Good. Boys and girls, we are done with the H. Let's continue on the next page. Page 11. Go to page 11. Now you must listen carefully. Which weighs more? What does that mean? We have to see which one is heavy and which one is light. So let's look at that pictures there. Circle the object that is heavy. You do not circle the one that is light. You circle the one that is heavy. Good. We have a picture of a glue. Then we have a picture of a chalk. Danelle, would you say that the glue is heavy or would you say the chalk is heavy? Which one is heavy? The glue. So now you have to circle, make a circle around the picture of the glue. Make a circle around the picture of the glue. We go to the next pictures. The next picture is a crayon and a rubber. Danelle, would you say that the crayon is heavy or is the rubber heavy? Which one is heavy? The rubber. So now you have to make a circle around the rubber because the rubber is much more heavier than the crayon. So now you have to do the rest on your own. See if you can do that by yourself. Good. Let's go to page 12. We are still busy with heavy and light. On that page, you will see that there is different kinds of animals. Do you see that? Yes. And how many pictures are there? There are 8 pictures. And each picture has a different animal. Can you see there? Good. Now let's look at the first block. What animals are there in the first block? It is a rabbit and it is a bear. Good. So which one is heavy? We have to color in. We have to color in the bear because the bear is heavier than the rabbit. Good. Let's look at the next picture next to that one. We see it's a dinosaur and a snake. So which one is heavy? Is the dinosaur or the snake heavy? The dinosaur. So we have to color in the dinosaur. Oh, you are so clever. Good. So now you have to do the rest. Remember, you must color in the one that is heavy. I thank you very much. Let's go to page 13. And that is addition sums. What is addition sums? It is plus sums. Count, add, and write the correct answer in the box. So let's go to the board for a few examples. I'm going to make use of the pictures hearts. Can you see my hearts? Okay. I have one heart plus another heart. How much or what will my answer be? How many hearts do I have here? 2. So it means I will have 2 hearts. And I'm just going to write the number next to it here. I'm going to make another example. Let's make use of sticks. How many sticks do I have here? 3 sticks. Plus, how many sticks are on that side? 2. So now, let's see. How many sticks do we have now? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So, what will my answer be? I will have 5 sticks. So, let's go back to our page 13. You will see on that page, they gave an example for you of apples, where you see there's 3 apples plus 1 apple, and the answer is 4. The next fruit that you have to do on your own is strawberries, oranges, watermelon, bananas, and pears. So you have to do that sums on your own. Good. Let's turn over to the next page, page 14. And it is the same. We have to plus the different insects. Let's go back to the board. I'm going to make another example quickly for you. I'm going to make, let's say, circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 circles here plus 1 circle. How many circles do I have now? Danelle, let's count our circles. 1, 4, 5. So how many circles do we have here? 5 circles. So if we go back to our page 14, we will see that we have to do the same. We have to plus, and then we have to fill in the answer on the line. Thank you. We come to the end of our lesson, but before we call our friend Zashi, remember social distancing, sanitizing of hands, between the fingers. Good. Let's call on our friend Zashi. Bye.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time, bye.
Thank you so much, Teacher Abrams. I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson as much as I did. So now we're going to move straight to lesson 2, week 7 of grade 2 and 3. So you guys better stay tuned because we are going to be listening to what Teacher Guriras has for us. I'm very excited. I don't know about you, so stay tuned, grab your snacks, make sure you are focused.
Well, hello friends, welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Miss Isolda Guriras, and this week's theme will be occupations. Before we start with our lessons, I would like for us to sanitize our hands with my friend here in the studio. Sanitize nice and thoroughly between your fingers as well as around your thumbs. And always maintain social distancing. Very good. We'll be focusing on addition, mass, and multiplication. All right, I would like for us to turn to page 9. Now we are going to practice how to count quickly by adding the numbers. For example, I would like for you quickly to look on the chalkboard. How can we add up quickly without making any sticks or looking on our fingers? Okay? Say, for example, if we have 30 plus a 6, how can we add this quickly? What can we do? We can just kill the 0 and write the remaining numbers, and we will have the total of 36. Oh, nice, isn't it? That is how we count, adding up quickly. Let's quickly have another one also. 70 plus a 9. How can we add up quickly without making any sticks or counting on our fingers? What do? Take the 0 away and write the leftover numbers, and then we are going to have 79. Oh, nice. Now we are starting to love mathematics also. Let's have another one. Give me a number. Say, for example, 80 plus a 1. What can we do? Can you show me quickly? Oh, beautiful. Awesome. That is how we add up quickly without making any sticks or counting on our fingers, okay? Let us quickly go back to our activity and look. All right, there we have, let's start from the second one there. 50 plus a 3, and then you can see the answer is also supposed to be 2 because there are 2 spaces for the answer. What are you supposed to be doing? Yes, you scratch out the 0 and then you write the leftover numbers, which is going to be 5 and a 3. All right, now how about the number next door? What are we supposed to do there? The same rule applies. Kill the 0. But since the 60 is having 2 numbers, remember to write the 6 first. And then the 9 comes at the units place. I would like for you to complete the rest of the activity on your own. Remember to practice how to add up quickly. Let us look at number 2. Friends of 10. Now, this one, it means we have, look at the first example there. 8 plus a 5, 8 plus a 7. Let me quickly write it here for you on the chalkboard. 8 plus a 7. It means we have to find a friend for the 10. How many do you have to add here to 8 in order for us to get a 10, Landre? We have to add how many here in order for us to get a 10? Remember, we have to count on. It's a 2. We have already 8, so we are counting 2 times forward. 1, 2. So we have a 2 here. And how many is left here? If we take away 2 from 7, we have a 5. So we form a 10 here. This one becomes a 10. And what number is the friend of a 10? This one becomes the friend. Ne? The one on the right hand, we call it the friend of a 10. And at the end of the day, we have how many altogether? A 15. All right? Let's have another example. For example, we have a 5 plus a 9. Let's quickly break up this 9 here by adding a certain number here to give us the amount of 10. How many can we add here to give us a total of 10? We have to count on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many times did we count on? 5. So it means it is a 5 here. So if we have to take away the 5 from the 9, how many is left here? It will be a 4. So this one, 5 plus a 5 will give us a total of a 10. We have to group or make a 10 first. And then we will have the friend next door, which is going to be a 4. 4 will be the friend of a 10. And then at the end of the day, the total will be a, remember what we did with the previous activity also? Here, you can also quickly count by scratching out the 0 and write the leftover numbers, which is going to be a 14. Can you see the trick? Very nice. Let's have one more activity. An example, pardon me. Let's say a 7 plus a 6, for example. Remember, we have to add a certain number to number 7 to give us a total of a 10. What can we add here to give us a total of a 10? We can always count forward. We count on. We already have the 7 here, so we count on from the next number, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 3. We count on 3 times. How many is left here if we have to take away a 3 from the 6? 3 also here. So this one's become a total of a 10. Very good. Total of a 10. And who is the friend of a 10 here? It's a 3. And remember what we did with the previous activity? Counting quickly, what can we do? Very good. Kill the 0 here, or scratch it out rather. And then you write the leftover numbers, which will give you the total of a 13. Very good. Let us go back to our page 9. And complete our activities there. Okay, now the first one has already been done for you. So let us look at the next one, which says 3 plus 9. So we have to split the 9. How many can we add to number 3 to give us the total of a 10? We can always count on. We have already 3 in our head, so we count on from the following number, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many times did you count on? That is correct, 7 times. So you write the 7 there, and how many is left? If you take away 7 from the 9, yes, that is correct. There is 2 left. So 3 plus a 7 will give you the 10, which has already been done for you there. And then what is the friend of the 10? It is going to be a 2. 2 is going to be the friend of 10. And then the last answer there, the final answer will be, what do? You can do add the method that we have done previously by scratching out the 0. And then you write number 1 and 2, which will give you the total of a 12. I would like for you to do by completing the activity on your own. Let's look there down below. Number 3, it says we have to compare. What is more? How much more? Or subtract. We have a number line there that goes from 0 until 20. We have to use the number line when we have to answer our activity. The example is there for you. 5 or 7, which is more and which is less? Then we can say 7 is more than 5. But 7 is with how many times is 7 more than 5? With 2 times more than 5. So if you take away 2 from the 7, you will get the total of a 5. All right? I would like for you to complete the boxes below. All right? Turn to page 10. Okay, we are still busy with the number bonding of 10. Now here is also going to be a very fun activity for you to complete. Find 11 ways to make a 10. What will be the 11 ways for you to get a 10? It says choose from the numbers in the blocks below. You can see the numbers there. To complete the sums, you can either write the number or cut it out. For example, let's see. Let's do the first one together. How many numbers? Oh, okay, you have to put 2 numbers together in order for you to get the total of a 10. Right. So, if we have to choose number 1 there, next to the 0, number 1, let us write number 1. How many should we add to number 1 in order for us to get number 10? How many do you think? That is correct. We have to add number 9 because 1 plus a 9 equals to a 10. Very good. Let's look at another one. There are many ways how you can make a 10. Let's choose any number. For example, a 4. Okay, how many do we need to add to number 4 in order for us to get number 10, the total of 10? Yes, we can always count on. We put the 4 in our heads and then we count on from the next number and see how many times you count it on, and then you write the number which is going to be number 6. very fun way of doing addition sums. So 4 plus a 6 will give you the total of a 10. I would like for you to play around with the numbers by making ways to make a 10. And remember, practice makes perfect. Always do a little bit of more mathematics. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed our previous lesson about bonding of the tens, adding up the tens and so on. I would like for you to turn to page 11. We are going to look at mass. What is mass? Mass is how heavy or light something is. For example, what I have here in front of me. Between these three objects here, Landre, which one do you think is the lightest? This one, the glue, is the lightest. And then comes this one, and which one do you think is the heaviest? The heaviest object will be this one. So, whenever we are doing mass, we normally have the heavy object, which we are actually calculating in kilograms. The ones heavy is always in kilograms, and the ones that are light are always in grams. Now, we always calculate the lightest ones in grams and the heavier ones in kilograms. And this is how we write the kilograms with a K, and the G stands for the kilograms. And the light ones, we just write the G, which says it's a light one. Now, we use these symbols for the different measurements. All right. Say, for example, if we have to look at that on our page 11, it says there, 2 needles weigh about 1 gram. So we have a scale there whereby 1 kilogram equals to 1,000 grams. And a half of a kilogram equals to 500 grams. And then we have a quarter, which is equals to 250 grams. For example, can we quickly look here on the chalkboard? If we have to put that one in practical, say for example, we have a circle. Now, whole of this circle equals to 1 kilogram. Into 1 kilogram. So if we have to halve this kilogram into 2 equal halves, each of these halves will be equals to a 500 gram and another 500 gram. If we have to add those 2 grams together, we are going to get 1 kilogram. But if we have to divide 1 kilogram into 2 halves, if we have to halve a kilogram, we will have a 500 gram of each side. Okay, how about a quarter? That is just half. We have done fractions, remember? Quarter means we are having 4 equal parts. If we have to halve a 500, what are we going to have? We are going to have 250 grams, another 250 grams, another 250 grams, and another 250 grams. Okay, now comes the question, just something practically. How much gram do we have? How many, if you put 2 of the quarters together, how many are you going to have? How many grams are you going to have? You are going to have the total of a? Very good. I'm impressed, Landre. 500 grams, which is equals to what? Half of a gram. And if we add these 2 grams together here, how many are you going to have? Another 500 grams. Awesome. 500 grams. If we have to add 2 500 grams together, what are we going to have at the end of the day? Equals to 1 kilogram. Okay, I would like for us to go back to our page 11, and then we have to complete the activity there. Number 1 says, what does each of the following weigh? You only need to write a gram or a kilogram. For example, the flour that you have there. What do you think? How much do you think that kilogram will weigh? But we only need to write the symbols. We only need to write it's either gram or the kilogram. How are we going to weigh the flour? That is correct. We have to weigh the flour in kilograms because it's huge. It's a big bag. How about the sugar there? The bag of sugar that we have to weigh it in also in kilograms. And then we have a jar, the measuring cup there. Yes, the measuring cup we can weigh it in a gram. And then we have something that looks like an egg, an oval shape. Yes, we can also measure it in grams because it's small. Okay, how about number 2? Look at the items below. What does each of the following weigh? So that one you have to write it. Just the answers for me below each of all the pictures there, of each picture there. Sorry about that. I would like for us to turn to page 12. Page 12, we just need to practice on our multiplications, all right? Number 1 is skip counting in 2s. We have to know our multiplications of 2, very important. Multiplications of 3, we have to skip counting as well in 3s, in 5s, as well as in 10s. And whenever you are counting, also try to count also backwards from 20 upwards. Like for example, let's look at number 1, counting in 2s. We can count either downwards, top to bottom, or bottom to top. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Bottom up means you are starting from number 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. You have to practice with the numbers. Turn to page 13. We have multiplications on a grade 3 level, which is 10 times table from 1. Let's quickly look at that. 10 times 5. Okay, so this is actually what you are supposed to be doing when you are counting in the tens. You can also use your fingers. You can count 10. Landre, let us count together on your fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I also have the multiplication of 10 here on the chalkboard. I also have it here on the chalkboard. So for example, the first one, it says 10 times 5. How many do you think will be equals to 10 times 5? What does it mean? We can count in tens 5 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which is going to be a 50, the first one. Let us look at number 25 on our right side. There it says a number times 10 will give us a total of a 90. So what number multiplied by 10 will give us a total of a 90? What can we do there? Yes, we have to count in tens until we get to 90 and check how many times we have counted. Let us count in tens. Let us count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. How many times did you count? You have counted 9 times. So it means 9 times a 10 will equal to a 90. So always make use of your 10 fingers whenever you are doing the multiplication of a 10. Okay, let's quickly look at number 8. On the left side, number 8, it means 10 times a 10. So if we have to look on our multiplication here, Landre, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So 10 times a 10 equals to 100. We can also use our fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So how many times did you count it? 10 times. And you have counted in tens, so which means it equals to a 100. Very good. I would like for you to complete the activity on your own. Yes, now we have come to the end of our lessons about counting and multiplications. Please always do remember to sanitize your hands, to keep your hands free of all germs. Keep your social distance at all times. Wear your mask whenever you need to go out. I will see you during our next lesson. Soshi, please come and say bye-bye. Bye.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time, bye!
Friends, can we just give Teacher Kuriras a big thumbs up, a big thumbs up. Thank you so much, teacher, for that very informative lesson. So right now we're going to move on to grade 4 and 5, and we're going to be looking at week 7, lesson 7, and this is going to focus on maths with teacher Akinime. So please stay tuned. I'm sure that all those numbers will have you going crazy after the lesson.
Good morning, Namibia. Welcome to my Zone Online School. My name is Piers Akanime, and I'm with Chanel in the studio. Chanel, let's quickly take our sanitize, and we sanitize our hands. We rub neatly into our hands, inside and outside. And remember to keep our social distance. Hands on math. Our topic for today is multiplication and division number relationship. Boys and girls, let's go on page 8. Our competency for today. The first one is relate multiplications and division as inverse operation. Second competency, we have to apply commutative property of multiplication. And the last one, we have to apply associative property of multiplications. Multiplication and divisions as inverse operations. What does this mean? Inverse operations means an operations that reverse the effect of another operation. The inverse operation of multiplication is division, and the inverse operation of division is multiplications. So what does it mean? Boys and girls, let's go on board with the first example. Number 1, we have 5 times 10. What is our answer? 5 times 10 is equal to 50. Good. So, inverse operation is the same as we have 50 divided by 10. What will be our answer? Is 5. That's what we call inverse operation. Boys and girls, I want you to put it in your mind and work it out accordingly. Stay tuned, we'll be back. Boys and girls, we are still on page 8. Hands-on math with commutative property of multiplications. If you want to find the answer of any two numbers, you multiply them in any order. This is what we call the commutative property of multiplications. Meaning, when we apply commutative property of multiplications, we first switch the number around and then we multiply it together. But the value or the product stay the same. Boys and girls, let's get on board. The first example. Example 1, we have 10 times 9. What is our answer? 10 times 9 is 90. Good. Remember that we have to switch the number around and we multiply them together. But the product should stay the same. So when we are switching the number, we start with 9 times 10. And our product will stay the same. Boys and girls, we are done to apply commutative property of multiplication. Thank you. Stay tuned. Boys and girls, let's go on page 9. Hands-on math with associative property of multiplication. This property lets you rearrange numbers when you have more than 2 numbers in a calculation. Choose numbers which are easy to multiply and group them together. When we apply associative property of multiplications, we group numbers together, so when it's multiplied, it will give a multiple of either 10 or 100 or 1,000. Boys and girls, let's get on board with the first example. For example, we have 6 times 15 times 5. Good. We have to apply associative property of multiplications. Good. So remember to choose the 2 numbers that are easy to multiply and group them together. In this case, we take 6 times 5. Group them together. Times 15. Remember the 15. Good. So, what is our answer? 6 times 5. Chanel, what do we get? 30. So, then, the 30 that we get, we still multiply it with 15. So that we can get the final product. So, when we multiply 30 times 15, we get 450. Boys and girls, that is our final answer of 450. That is our product. So we are done to apply the associative property of multiplications. Boys and girls, I want you to go through the example of B, C, and when you are done with that, when you master the method, we can go for activity. What does the activity say? Number 1, apply inverse operations, whereby we have in A, we have 5 times 6. So, what will be the answer with division, which will give us 5? B, 7 times 9. What is our answer? And the inverse operation of that, and the answer will be 7. C, 80 divided by 10. What will be the answer? And the inverse operation, multiplication, whereby we'll get 80. D, 42 divided by 7. What will be the answer? With the inverse operation, the answer will be then 42. Boys and girls, work it out. Number 2, we are going to use commutative property of multiplication to calculate. A, 3 times 13. Apply commutative property. B, 50 times 4. Apply commutative property of multiplication correctly. C, 240 times 5. Apply the commutative property of multiplication. Boys and girls, I want you to get it correct, please. Number 3, use associative property of multiplication to calculate A, 5 times 13 times 6. What will be the answer? But remember to apply the associative property. B, 2 times 6 times 25. What will be the answer? C, 4 times 7 times 5. You should apply associative property. Boys and girls, that is our end of the lesson for today. Chanel, let's take our spray and then we sanitize our hands inside and outside. And remember to keep this social distance. Bye-bye, Namibia.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time, bye!
Till which number can you guys count? I'm actually really asking myself, my friends that are watching me right now, up until which number can they count? I'm very, very suspicious. So right now, let's just move straight along to grade 6, which is week 7, lesson 7. And this is going to be taught to you guys by Mr. Ntopoli. So let's see what he has for us. Let's see till where you guys can count after this lesson.
All right, welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Ismail Topoli, and also welcome to Clarice. Boys and girls, please remember, as usual, don't forget to sanitize your hands. Okay, very important. Secondly, you make sure you keep your social distance. Okay, very important. And lastly, always ensure that you always put on your mask. So today, we are going to tackle the topic of prime numbers and composite numbers. Okay, so the topic for today is prime numbers and composite numbers. Let's quickly go to page 10. So follow with me. It says, previously you have learned that we could determine the factors of a number, okay? And here are the factor pairs of 24 drawn in a rainbow. Now, if you can remember this work, if we have the number 24, for example, 1 and 24 will be factor pairs. You'll also notice that both of them, which is 1 and 24, they are in the red color of the rainbow. And if you take 1 multiplied by 24, it will also give you 24. The next number, then, or at least the next factor pairs, is 2 and 12. And if you take 2 times 12, it will also give you 24. And then we have 3 and 8. Multiply those two will also give you 24. And then lastly, we have 4 and 6, which are also factor pairs of 24. So the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24, they are factors of 24. Now, the reason why we are talking about factors is because this whole topic of prime numbers and composite numbers has to do with factors. And we are going to look at a couple of factors now. So let's look at the list of factors below. So we have 18, 16, 7, 6, 5, and 1. Now, if we look at 18, the factors of 18 is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18, which is a total of 6 factors. And then we have 16, which is 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16 itself, which is a total of 5 factors. And then we have 7, and 7 only has 1 and itself, in other words 1 and 7, so it only has 2 factors. And then we have 6, which has factors of 1, 2, 3, and 6, and that is a factor of a total of 4 factors. And then we have 5, which again, just like 7, only have 1 and 5 as factors, which is only 2 factors. And then lastly, we have 1, which is probably the most unique number, and it only has 1 factor. Now, if we go on the next page, which is page 11, it says, from the above, we can establish 3 important factors, or at least from the previous page. Now, first of all, let's talk about the number 1. All right? Now, it says there that the number 1 is a special number in a group of its own, and it has only 1 factor. Now, this number 1 has created a lot of controversy because a lot of learners say it's a prime number. Some say, no, it's not a prime number. We will look into that. Now, let's quickly go to prime number. Before we touch on composite numbers, let's just see what do they say. What is a prime number? It says there that a prime number only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. It continues to say that prime numbers are opposite of composite numbers. They are special numbers that can only be divided by 1 or itself without a remainder. For example, 5 is a prime number. 2, 3, and 4 cannot divide into 5. Only 1 and itself can divide into 5. Now let's quickly go back to page 10. If you look at the list of those numbers there, notice that the number 7 is a prime number. The other number that is also a prime number is 5. Why are they prime numbers? Because they only have 2 factors. Now, I want you to notice the difference. Let's go back to page 11. The reason why 1 cannot be regarded as a prime number is because it only has 1 factor. Okay? In order for a number to be considered as a prime number, it must have 2 factors, which is 1 and that number itself. Now let's look at composite numbers. It says composite numbers have more than 2 factors. Composite numbers are the opposite of prime numbers. Composite numbers are whole numbers that are divisible by 1, the number itself, and more factors. For example, 21 is a composite number because 1, 3, 7, and itself can divide into 21. So in layman's terms, in other words, in simple English, a composite number must have 3 or more factors. Now let's quickly go back to the previous page on page 10. Which numbers do you think are composite numbers? That's right, it will be 18, 16, as well as 6. Okay? So, to sum this up, 1 is not a prime number, nor is it a composite number. All right? A prime number must and only has 2 factors. All right? And then lastly, a composite number must have 3 or more factors. Are we together? Okay, let's get ready for our activity. All right, let's go to page 11. It says there that follow the instruction below to find all the prime numbers to 100. In other words, from 1 to 100. Now, it also says that the first 50 numbers have been done for you. Okay? Now, there is a certain way how to discover your prime numbers, and we are going to do this step by step. So let's go to page 12. Now, there are certain instructions that we need to carry out so that we can discover our prime numbers. And at the same time, we will also be able to discover our composite number, but we will come later there. Okay, A. A instructs us to cross out 1. In other words, the number 1, which is not a prime number. Okay? So number 1 is not playing in this activity because it's not a prime number. It's kind of weird for now. So 1 is not a prime number, nor is it a composite number. So let's go to B. B says, color in all multiples of 2 except 2. In case you have forgotten what the word multiples are, multiples is like this. Like if you are asked, what are the multiples of 4? It will be 4, 8, 16, 20, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Those are multiples, okay? So color in all the multiples of 2 except 2. And then C, color out or color in all the multiples of 3 except 3. And then D, it also say color out all the multiples of 5 except 5. And then E, color out all the multiples of 7 except 7. Now, once you are done, at least up to E, you're going to notice certain things. You will notice that some numbers are colored and some numbers are not colored. So what does that mean? All the numbers that are not colored, they are your prime numbers. Okay? And if we look at question F, it says, put a circle around the numbers that are left. In other words, those numbers that are not colored, put a circle around it. In other words, encircle them because they will be your prime numbers. Now, if those numbers that you are encircling right now are your prime numbers, then obviously it means the rest of the numbers will be composite numbers. Okay? So I want to encourage you that you do this, take your time, and make sure that everything is correct. Because once you are done with that activity, it will help you to answer the question 2 part of this activity. So let's look at question 2. 2A. Once you are done coloring your activity or and encircling, now we do question 2. And then it starts to ask how many prime numbers do we have from 1 to 100. Okay? So you go back to your activity, to your table, and then you discover those numbers that you encircle. How many are they? Okay? 2B, it says, how many composite numbers do we have from 1 to 100? How many composite numbers do we have from 1 to 100? And then 2C asks, which number is the only even number? If you have forgotten not only even number, but only even prime number. Remember the word even, okay? It's like numbers that ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. All right? So the question is, which number is the only prime number? If I have to restructure the question, is which number is the only prime number that is even? Okay? Now, you will notice that there is a typing error there because there are 2 C's. So the second C, okay, is asking which column has the most prime numbers. Now, I just quickly want us to go to our table so that I can explain to you what is a column. Now, you will notice on top of the table, there are letters A to J. If we look at the letter D, for example, there is 4, 14, 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74, and 84, and then 94. All these numbers, I can say they are in the column of D. Are we together? So all those numbers fall under the column of D. Okay, let's proceed. Now that you understand what is a column, let's look at 2D. Which column has the most composite numbers? Right, discover that. And then we have E. Which column has the least prime numbers? And then lastly is which column has the least composite numbers? Okay? All right, I think that should be easy for you to do as if you have done your table correctly. And take your time and study the table thoroughly. Okay? Now, number 3 is who am I? This activity has to do with identifying the number. In other words, which number is speaking here? Right? Which number is speaking? 3A, for example, will say, I am the only prime number between 81 and 90. So which number is that? Which number is speaking like that? Saying that I am the only prime number between 81 and 90. B, I am the smallest composite number between 31 and 40. Which number do you think that is? So again, go back to your table and discover which number is that, which is the smallest composite number between 31 and 40. Number 3, I am the biggest prime number. Now, obviously, this will mean the biggest from 1 to 100. Okay, so keep it within the table, right? In other words, in that table that you have just completed, which number is the biggest prime number? And then D is asking for 3 numbers. It says, we are the only 3 composite numbers that end with the number 3. In other words, find those 3 composite numbers that has their unit as 3. In other words, it ends with the number 3. Okay? All right, now let's go to the next page, which is page 13. Page 13 is asking, find the nearest prime number before and after the number written in the circle. Now, if we look at A, there is the number 8 there. So, on your left-hand side should be the smaller number, and on your right-hand side should be the bigger number. Okay? In other words, the prime number. Now, the prime number, which is next to 8, in other words, the nearest prime number next to 8. Let me just help you a little bit there at A. The nearest prime number before 8, it will be 7. Are you getting it? But the nearest prime number after 8, be careful, it's not 9. Why? Because 9 is not a prime number. Because 9, the factors of 9 is 1, 3, and 9. So it's not that we are looking for odd numbers here, we are looking for prime numbers. So just be vigilant on that one. So now that I've given you an idea on how to do A, I'm sure you'll be able to do the rest. Okay? So for B, you do for 35, C you do for 18, and then D you do for 95. All right, and lastly, number 5. Is 15 a prime number? When we look at the number 15, some will say it's a prime number. Some say, no, it's not a prime number. What do you think? And also, once you have stated whether it's a prime number or not, please give a reason for your answer. Why are you saying it's not a prime number? Okay? So I hope that you will enjoy this activity, and all the best. All right, before we say goodbye, we just want to remind you that please remember to always sanitize your hands, okay? And make sure that you keep your social distance. Don't forget your mask, all right? And until next time, see you.
Hi everyone. You can't hug your friends anymore, but you can still give yourself some love, or you can practice how to blow hugs. Mwah, 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 mwah. And until next time, bye!
I hope you guys have enjoyed today's lessons as much as I did. It's really so informative for some of us who are already out of school for a very long time. So thank you guys so much for staying tuned. So right now, we are not done. So don't finish your popcorn or your snacks because we have more lined up for you. So right now, we're going to look at an interview from the Kunene region, which is from the Senior Education Officer, Mrs. Muebes. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So let's see what they have for us. And then after that, we'll look at an interview that I did with our beloved teacher, Mutsa. So please check that out and let us know what you guys think.
Good afternoon. I'm Ms. Ingenesia Mweses, Senior Education Officer for Pre-Primary in the Kunene region. We are receiving booklets for pre-primary to grade 7 from the Ministry of Education in Windhoek, so that the learners can work on them during this COVID-19 while they are being locked down at homes with the help of their parents. We have 12 schools, primary schools in Koregas and its surroundings that we are working on. From those 12 schools, 4 are based here locally in Koregas and 8 are from the surroundings. So far we have received booklets for week 1 up to week 3 for pre-primary up to grade 7. We are receiving these booklets every day, and then they are brought here at the regional office in Koregas. Some are dropped in Ocho at the second office, some are taken to Opuo because the region is too big, so they cannot be brought here. And then we are taking them from the regional office, we take them to the Teachers Resource Center, where we sort them according to the schools, with the names of the school on them. And the principals were informed to collect these books at the Teachers Resource Centers or at all those production hubs. And then they are coming. They are really working together with us. They are cooperating. And those schools that are outside where the principals cannot reach us here, we have arranged transport. Some of them were already taken to the schools by our drivers. And then there are also teachers who are coming in from the schools outside, and they are picking the books. We are receiving the number of 1,500 booklets for each combined grades, like pre-primary and grade 1 will receive 1,500. For grade 2 and 3 will also receive 1,500. And also for grades 4 and 5, it's combined together, all the subjects, we are receiving 1,500. And again, for grade 6 and 7, we are receiving 1,500. So we are receiving a total of 6,000 booklets for Koregas and Ocho area.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another amazing episode of the MyZone Learning Online School. See, this is what happens when you wear a mask, but you have to wear your mask. So, before we do anything else, you guys know how we do here in the studio. We like to sanitize our hands, make sure that we are adhering to the rules and regulations until everything is calm again. So, on my left here, on this amazing couch, we have an amazing guest, and she's going to introduce herself and tell us a bit about what it is that she's been doing here at our studios and our offices. Ma'am, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
All
My
right.
name is Teacher Mutsa, and I teach lower primary, which is basically grade 1s, grade 2s, and sometimes grade 3s.
She has an amazing voice. I wish she was my teacher, guys. If this is your teacher, you are so lucky. So, ma'am, tell us a bit about what it is that you've been doing here at NMH.
Well, I've been part of this amazing world countrywide project, and it's part of MyZone Online School, where we have been providing learning materials and teaching materials for children throughout the whole country, whether it's a Facebook interaction or it's a YouTube interaction. We have been trying to get education through the country, and I've been so blessed to be part of this project.
Amazing. What is the one thing that you can pick up that you will probably take away from this experience?
I think the one thing is that I've learned is that learning comes in all sorts of forms. You know, as a teacher, when you're by yourself in the classroom, you tend to have the same type of learning methods and the same type of teaching methods. But I've learned that learning takes place anywhere. And I want to take that further and even explore it even further. So that is the one main thing that I've learned, that learning is everywhere.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And just lastly, is there any word of encouragement or word of advice that you'd like to leave with your young ones?
Yes, you know, I have been thinking about this for weeks now, and with all that is going on, I want to encourage every single young person to be who they want to be. I want you to think outside the box. It's okay to be a teacher. I would love for you to be a teacher, but we want people who want to be astronauts, presidents. We want you to take control of the world. Don't leave it to the hands of other people. You are our future, and you can be whoever you want to be.
See, there you have it, guys, straight from your teacher, not from me, not from my colleagues, straight from your own teacher. So make sure that you catch the next episode of MyZone Learning Online School. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And yes, just reach out to us if you don't know anything. If you don't know where to find the material, we'll be glad to assist you. So thank you so much for joining us. From us in studio, it's bye-bye. That's it for today, friends. You guys are my bestest friends in the whole wide world, and I hope to see you guys again for the next lessons. So stay tuned to MyZone's Facebook page and go visit us on Zoshi Online. I can't wait to speak to you guys again. So from us here in studio, it's bye-bye.